in, like I mentioned, in patronage and oppression. So while we support the cooperation, while we support the assistance, we would suggest that only the areas where the international community directly focuses and directly supervises the aid, that is only when the aid makes sense to the people of Uganda. Otherwise, the aid that is channeled to help the people of Uganda is many times ending up oppressing the people of Uganda.
Thank you for
me and my team. My name once again is Kyaguranyi Ssentamu Robert, although I'm more popularly known as Bobby Wine. I am the leader of the People Power Movement and the National Unity Platform political party in Uganda. It's a pleasure to be able to once again represent the plight of my people in Uganda, not just the party that I lead, but the masses of the people. Uganda is a country of 45 million people, 85% of which are young people under the age of 35. Recently, we just went through the most violent election that you can imagine, where more than 150 people were massacred on the 17th and 18th of November. But even before that, massive arrests, abductions, and extrajudicial summary executions were done on the streets. However, even during the elections, the European Union and United States election observers were blocked from the election. Since then, the rampant abductions have been ongoing. The lawlessness has continued, and as we speak right now, thousands of young people are rotting in jails, while tortures and blatant beatings and cruel treatment of the citizens is ongoing. The people of Uganda are only looking to the international community, because while Uganda has never had a peaceful transfer of power since independence, General Museveni having come to power 36 years ago through force of arms, we have constantly discouraged violence because we believe in non-violent actions of transforming our country and changing leadership. Unfortunately, even when the people of Uganda have endeavored to be peaceful and to be moral and to be legal, they've been responded to with brute force. Killings in the full view of the international community. The reason why I see this as a great opportunity is because we know that dictatorships like General Museveni can only be responsible and called out by the international community. Uganda is a country that largely depends on international aid. And we know that General Museveni can only be called to order when the voice of the international and development partners speak out, because Uganda largely depends on the donations that come from the international community. While we appreciate the partnership of the European countries with Uganda in terms of healthcare and education, we also know that dictatorships in Africa, particularly in Uganda, have been held and kept alive and indeed encouraged by the support of the international community. So it is my prayer and the prayer of my people that the European Union makes the respect for democracy, the respect for human rights, and the respect for the rule of law preconditions for partnerships with Uganda. Otherwise, it is sad to speak, but it continues to make developed democracies like those in Europe look like they're partnering in crime with General Museveni's repressive regime in Uganda. I am hoping that my submission here will appeal to the morality of the European Union and the European Parliament, and I hope that they will find the moral courage to hold General Museveni accountable, because if they hold General Museveni accountable, it will be a very strong precedent that will be set, that even the leaders that will come after General Museveni will know that the international community is not going to fold arms and sit back and watch all this criminality and all these human rights violations go on in Uganda. As I conclude, I will mention the most recent blatant human rights violations that have happened. One of the most famous writers in Uganda who wrote a book called The Banana Republic responded to a tweet by the son of the president, who is clearly above the law. He was picked and whipped, and the pictures have been moving on social media with his back cut with a whip with more than 100 times. Unfortunately, the world continues to look on, and international aid continues to flow into Uganda, which international aid is lost in patronage and corruption, while the people of Uganda continue to languish in desperation. It is my humble prayer that once again we are seen and indeed held by the values of morality that bring us together as the international community. We know that the European Union can evoke sanctions against all the human rights abusers. We know that the European Union can evoke the Global Magnitsky against General Museveni, which will lay a good and strong moral precedent for the generations now and the generations to come. I thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your commitment, and I must say that some of the points that you just raised them are concerns for our group as well, for our political group, and we as liberals in the European Parliament have a strong plea